COD World War II Vanguard is currently unreleasable. They are literally hemorrhaging employees right now. They are leaking like a sieve. Two things that can happen to the Call of Duty franchise at this point. One in the campaign, two in the multiplayer. The greed knows no bounds. That's all we'll say about that. So Call of Duty 2001, aka World War II Vanguard, is a big, hot, sticky mess. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen over here. I have 3 articles pulled up. These will be cited or sourced down there in the description below. There are literally dozens of articles that I have read through around these topics, but basically these 3 here basically condense everything that I want to cover here in this article, and they all kind of tie in together to prove a couple of things. Primarily, the Activision Blizzard needs to step away from this annual release cycle. 2, they need a definite realignment of how they allocate their resources over there, as they have 9 studios, count them 9, all of their major studios under the Activision Blizzard umbrella, focusing on Call of Duty, which is a terrible idea. We're going to cover that in a little bit. So this article is called Call of Duty 21 is having developer troubles according to leakers. So Activision is already planning a recovery roadmap. That is not a good sign, not a good combination of words. For Call of Duty 21, as the company expects, it will not perform well, according to a well-known leaker, Tom Henderson. We know Tom Henderson. He covers a lot of Battlefield leaks as well as Call of Duty. He's been in the game for years. I think during the Civil War, him and Theodore Roosevelt were out there in the trenches collecting intel on the enemy, and now they're doing Call of Duty leaks, so that's really awesome. So these rumors originated on 4chan and stated that COD 21 was going to be delayed due to development struggles. Sledgehammer is getting sent back to support studio, and this year's COD, rumored to be called COD World War II Vanguard, is currently unreleasable. Quote unquote. So instead of getting WW2 Vanguard, we're actually going to be getting a Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 remastered multiplayer. So about a year ago, there was a Modern Warfare 2 campaign that was released, and it was met with pretty good, it was received pretty well by the Call of Duty community and whatnot, and people were saying, hey, we'd like to have a multiplayer, and it looks like that is the consolation prize, if you even want to call it that. I do think this is going to be a better game than World War II Vanguard, period. That is what we're going to be getting instead. And the reason they are going to have this is, you remember back to Advanced Warfare, how they weren't really they weren't really sure if the game would sell well or be received by the community, the Call of Duty community, and it was going to sell well. So the only way for you to get Modern Warfare remastered, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare remastered, not Modern Warfare 2019, but the 2016 version, Modern Warfare remastered, the original game that basically started the whole series. Even though it was the 4th game, it was the one that really launched it into what we know now as the Call of Duty first-person shooter franchise. In order to get that game, you could not buy it individually, physical or digital. You had to buy it as a premium or deluxe version of Advanced Warfare, and it was attached to that. That is most likely what they are going to do here. If this is not released as a standalone game to replace WW2, then it is going to be released as a package, because Vanguard might be so busted, not polished, that they know that they're going to have to lump in something else to kind of sweeten the deal a little bit, kind of like we saw with Advanced Warfare and Modern Warfare. Granted, both of those games were actually pretty good. It does seem unlikely that Activision would let a year go by without a major Call of Duty release. It is absolutely unreasonable, as it has been 17 years we have been on an annual release cycle, with the foreseeable past being a 3 dev team hot swap every year between Treyarch, Infinity Ward, and Sledgehammer Studios, with Raven providing support along the way, which we're about to cover in just a minute. The absolute disaster that is happening over there with the studio support for Bob, or support for that literally is what they should be called now. It ain't toys for Bob. They ain't making no more toys. They're not making any original games anymore. They are literally sent to the salt mines to slave for eternity until the hands are bloodied and the lungs are blackened with coal, from chiseling away at, just chiseling away at Call of Duty titles that no studio wants to work on. And same thing with Raven. We're going to cover this in the next tab over here, but I want to just wrap this particular article up by saying, I think this is probably one of the best 2 things that can happen to the Call of Duty franchise at this point. Would be, 1, for Activision Blizzard and their umbrella of 9 development studios to get the F away from the annual release cycle. It is having quality control issues. They cannot keep up with, sure enough, QC, the testing phase, and more importantly, the last 2 titles, I personally haven't thought that they were trash, but overall, the average Call of Duty fan that's been a fan of the franchise, playing these titles for 10, 15, 17 years, they're not really happy with the last two titles. We're talking Black Ops Cold War, and we're talking 2019 Modern Warfare. Now, of course, Warzone is its own entity, and that is booming and doing phenomenally. But if we're just talking about, traditional 6v6 multiplayer, the campaign, zombies, spec ops, that kind of stuff, people really aren't that satisfied. And it just seems like there is a huge disconnect over there. And a lot of that has to come down to this article right here. You like how I tied those two articles together? That's the cream pie, the glue that holds this cum cake together. So all 9 studios directly owned by Activision are part of the Call of Duty machine in some capacity. That is a horrible, horrible idea. Have you ever heard the saying, too many cooks in the kitchen, nothing gets whipped up? Yeah, that's exactly what is going on here. Basically, these chefs are elbow to elbow right now, basically bumping each other. You're trying to cut broccoli over here. Somebody bumps you, you slice off one of your fingers, and you're like, oh, shocking, the shocker. And then that's what we get as the Call of Duty fan, is the shocker. 1 in the campaign, 2 in the multiplayer. And as of recently, we're getting reports that Toys from Bob, which is the development house that made Crash Bandicoot 4, as well as the Spyro remasters and the Crash Insane Trilogy Switch version, has been pulled completely away from making original games, IPs, and literally sent to support Warzone Season 3 DLC. Being told you're never going to make an original game, you guys are just going to be over here supporting a game that isn't yours. And then there was a ton of articles and rumors talking about layoffs over there at Toys for Bob. The fact is, there aren't any layoffs. What is happening, a ton of the talent over there at Toys for Bob are bouncing because they don't want to be a support studio for Call of Duty. They would rather make original games, which makes absolute sense, especially when you have a passion for creating games and you're never going to create any games. You're not even making new COD titles. You are creating DLC packs, map refreshes, and slight tweaks to the multiplayer of Warzone. That is not going to give you a sense of satisfaction or get you passionate about the work you do. It's hard to watch talented devs, part of successful and long-running studios, get sent to the Call of Duty salt mines, unable to make anything unique or new. It hurts even more when a studio with its own history for great games, for example, Raven Studios, behind Heretic, Star Wars Jedi Academy, Marvel Ultimate Alliance, and more. However, since 2010, that is 11 years now, Raven has been a support studio for Call of Duty, often assisting with DLC. I wasn't running a dummy battery and my camera battery just died, much like the morale over there at Toys for Bob. So reports for layoff at Toys for Bob are incorrect. There has not been any reduction in personnel recently at the studio. The dev team is currently operating fully and has a number of full-time job openings at this time. Do you know why they're hiring? Because they can't hold any employees. People aren't renewing their contract. People are bouncing off the dev team because they don't want to be a DLC support studio. They want to make original games. That's probably what they signed up for. They are literally hemorrhaging employees right now. They are leaking like a sieve. Playing Escape from Tarkov, basically their company has a heavy bleed. And as you know, the heavy bleed is just going to continue to get worse until they patch that bad boy. So here's a little breakdown of what the 9 studios working on Call of Duty actually do. So basically, you have Toys for Bob working the shaft. You have Raven Software, who's pulled Duty Cup in the balls. Activision Shanghai pulls back the foreskin, as this is an uncircumcised game franchise. Demonware basically works on the urethra tip of the game. Former Transformer dev, they're never going to make a Transformers game again. High Moon Studios, what they do is basically just massage any veins that are present. Binox basically lays back waiting for the money shot, and collectively Infinity Ward, Treyarch, and Sledgehammer have been having a 3-way with Call of Duty games for the last decade. You couldn't even see my screen, my goodness. But if you want a more professional, accurate, realistic depiction of what these studios actually do, Toys for Bob is working on Warzone Season 3 content. Can you imagine? You are making games like Crash Bandicoot 4 and Spyro Reignited, a couple of dank bangers. Very well received, sold pretty damn well. You feel satisfied, you're working on awesome original games. Now you are doing DLC, downloadable content for a game that isn't even yours, and probably won't be that big for that long. I mean, Warzone is going to fizzle out eventually because there's going to be another battle royale that takes its place. Raven Software, again, 11 years now. 11 years! Got pulled away from doing things like Heretic and Marvel Alliance, Star Wars Jedi Academy to do support work for COD. Super rewarding work, I can imagine. Activision Shanghai works on Call of Duty Online. Demonware. I honestly don't hear much about this studio. They're kind of like the armpit, if you want to say. They do server support for Call of Duty. Okay, that's important, but that's kind of like the unsung heroes of a game. Server support. It's important though. You can't play without a server. Or you can, but you're going to be offline. Former Transformer dev High Noon Studio helps support Call of Duty. Okay? Just generic. They just help them support. Binox has been working on COD since Black Ops 3. Again, so nothing specific that they do there. They might get the coffee, they might order the pizzas, answer the phones, whatnot, shine the boots. And then collectively, Infinity Ward, Treyarch, and Sledgehammer have been taking turns developing COD games for the last decade. So, like I said, the last 10 years or so, those three developing houses have been in rotation underneath the Activision Blizzard umbrella, as that is the producing house. These are the development teams that actually create the game, and then Activision Blizzard takes it to the public, releases it, and then is in charge of everything after release. So patches, updates, hot fixes, DLC, keeping the online servers on, making sure the SBMM is absolutely completely busted, making sure that you have loot boxes and really shady ways of monetizing children, stuff like that, getting them into gambling. That's what Activision Blizzard's good at. And then, of course, also lining the absolute pockets of Bobby Kotick and the boys over there. The greed knows no bounds. That's all we'll say about that. This article over here, we're not really going to cover too much about, but it does have some good information. It basically solidifies everything that we've covered here thus far, and that will be sourced or cited down there in the description below as well. You can kind of read these three articles in succession if you want, and also do your own research. If you just Google Call of Duty 21 canceled, or Call of Duty 21 Modern Warfare 2, or, Bobby Kotick's upper lip or something like that, you're going to get the same information. That is going to do it for this video, but it does not end here. The conversation just starts now. Drop it in the comments section below, you stallions and stallionettes. Let's get a conversation, a forum, a think tank of like-minded individuals, like-minded bucking stallions and fine stallionettes having conversations about games down there. We are building a strong Arnold Schwarzenegger community of gamers here at Gamer Heaven. That would make sense that we'd have gamers here at Gamer Heaven. And what's important here at Gamer Heaven isn't the games, but the gamers. Corny as shit, I know. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and grease up your thumb and shove it up the YouTube algorithm by liking the video. That helps it to get seen by more people, which in turn helps me to grow this little channel, as it is rather flaccid and I'm trying to get her plump and veiny. When you tallywhack the subscribe button, turning it from red to gray, you have a good day, because basically you're alerted when my new videos come online. I cover a lot of news in the gaming community and industry, as well as tutorials helping you, like you personally, right there, I'm looking right at you, get set up streaming and YouTubing, and I will see you guys. There's a weird shadow getting cast by my chair back there. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.